All right, everybody. I'm not sure, but it says, and it sometimes it can be. I don't know. It says I got it. So, Trina,
Yep.
I believe we are alive. No, it says live. I get so confused on some of what they do technology, but welcome
Absolutely.
everybody. It is, it's nuts. In fact, I think that's what technology is actually designed for. I mean, and here we go. Boy, I mean, the energy
We're
summer
live.
solstice. But first, let me just speak favor over all of y'all who are hearing our voice, seeing our image, and digging our energy, because we dig your energy. It's like, nothing missing, nothing broken. It's a continuous current there, Trina. So thank you for everyone tuning in, all the moderators and everybody else. And we'll say hello to everyone individually. Uh, Trina, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Trying to shut off all the beepers and the buzzers. You know how
I
that goes.
know. It's crazy. Hey, David Barry, good to see you. Mary
Hi,
Wins,
everyone.
Mary Wins. So Higher and Higher, which album from the Moody Blues? If anyone would know that, Mary Wins would know that.
Yes.
Courtney, good to see you. Emperor Rex,
Hi,
Lost in
Courtney.
Space. Chloe, Scotty Boy, Jackie, how are y'all? Good to see you. Boy, lots of people in here already. Wow, and they're just filing in.
Wonderful people.
So, Mary, if you don't hear this, I know there's a delay. Hey, Coke Queen, good to see you. It is off to our children's children album. And the specific song is In the Eyes of a Child.
Oh,
You 50-foot leaps. It's so absurd. And you know what, Trina? I know this sounds weird, but anyway, I digress. That is a great song when you're coming down after you've been flying the astral plane with Dr. Timothy Leary. That's all I got to say.
wow. That's good to know.
Great album. If you really, it's a great album to trip to,
Mhm.
because it really will take you out. But yeah, it's so cool. So anyway, how are you?
Mhm.
What's up, girl?
Oh, I'm good. Just watching this world go mad and trying to figure it all out. And it's just a journey. Just a
Oh, it's a
journey.
journey, no doubt. And happy solstice, everybody.
Yeah.
Gaza.
Happy solstice.
Gaza is in
Oh,
the
God.
house. That's like 4 a.m. in
Hello.
the morning. That's a brother. I mean, high five. And, if we had
Yeah.
some coffee, we would be more than happy to pour you a second helping.
Yeah.
Pengredy, good to see you as well. And Amy,
Hello,
what
everyone.
you gonna do? I was listening to that song with Pure
Mhm.
Prairie League. So
I know
anyway,
that one.
oh man, I love that song. That song, I won't get down that road, but let's just keep the bus.
Ooh, hello.
Wow. That's the green light.
Interesting.
And then it went to the red light.
Huh, friends.
Far freaking out. We've got visitors.
Yes.
We have
Brian,
Brian.
is that
Brian is in
you?
the, I was going to say Brian's in the house in the
Yeah.
Astro. Hello, David Castle and Rufus. Good to see
Hi,
you.
baby. Hi, baby.
That was amazing, Trina.
Yeah. I heard it.
I mean, rarely do I ever encounter where just the green light goes off and the red light is still staying red. So the energy is still here. Julie, what's up? Peter, hello. Good to see y'all. Lori, hello. And I know Heidi listens many times later. Musgrave Griffin, good to see you. Truth Seeker. Bonnie, what's up, girl? Man, I mean, a full house, Trina. A
Yeah.
full house. Thank you for the
Oh,
thumbs
oh,
up.
yeah.
Feed the machine, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. So, how is your solstice going today?
It's going good. And, it feels like a very, this is just a powerful time for manifesting. So, a powerful energy.
Amen to that, sister.
Yeah.
That's all I
Powerful.
got to say.
Yep. So yeah, doing that, working on creating and like I said, trying to find a way through these obstacles that many of us are navigating through.
Yeah, there are definitely, but obstacles abound, and you cannot deny that. It is a reality. But you
Yes.
know, I've been on this planet for about 24,000, nearing 500 days. And Trina, I have seen the markets go up. I've seen the markets go down, bust. I've seen the big, huge turnaround. That was my specialty as a CEO. I had a special talent for turning companies around. But my point to this is, although there are obstacles that abound, the opportunities are more.
Yes.
More millionaires, billionaires have been born, manifested in times of what we would call recession, depression.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I'm seeing. It's like there's going to be a lot of new things needed, and I have a feeling new things created, and that's what I'm seeing. It's like trying to drop these lines of potential into the field. So I've
yeah,
been doing a lot with that, spending a lot of time literally just creating.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. By the way, this is a fabulous, not only is it the solstice, but here where I live in the Front Range in Colorado, it is fabulous weather. I mean, this is like San Diego type weather.
I
I'm
was up in
talking,
the
this is
woods.
Chamber of Commerce. This is the type of weather you want to bottle up, you know, for on those days that are just really hot, etc. Yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here, Trina. I just thought I'd tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in
Yeah.
the woods and it was the same, about 78. It was just beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not that warm. It's in fact, when we went live, it just went to 70. And that's fabulous. So how is everyone in the chat room? Hey, Jill, good to see you. Hello, everybody else. Mary wins, we all wins. That's it. And we win all the time. I mean, you know, I'm sure she's never like ever heard that before.
Right.
Not from memoir, you know.
Right.
Courtney Mack says jealous. Yeah, I know, Courtney. It is something. Saw your
Yeah.
interview with Lindsay. That was pretty cool. Michelle D, what's up? Go, go. Man, everybody, GMA, how you doing?
Hi, everybody.
So Trina, we're in the process of acquiring property somewhere in these beautiful boundaries from coast to coast, as they would say. And yesterday we were talking about grounding. And in this book, the book of soul retrieval, which is one of the most, it's one of the better books. I will have to say, really, the guy who writes this, Enoch B. Petrosili. I love that. I mean, what a great, and I guess this is Sarah, who would be an associate of his because she has the same last name. Anyway, I found it interesting about chi. And there's many different forms of chi. Had an interesting email yesterday from someone who listens from China. And he briefly went on to say that they practice this. This is taught when you're around it. You're taught very, very young. And he says that it's kind of the reason why they have been able to endure many hardships through the millennia, because they're connected to the earth.
Absolutely.
And he said, if Westerners would only begin to grasp, and he said, we love you over here because we're occultists as well. And I wrote him back and I said, this adds a whole new level of how you can really increase there. Apparently there are those among us, and I would say that I am one. I'm sure that I know that you are. There's a few others that I would identify this with as well. We are natural chi collectors and receivers. We transmit out. And we have this ability, if we ever learn to harness that chi that's when things really begin to happen for us. And so he wished us the best. He said he hopes that many in the soul tribe will begin to ground themselves, because, as he said, the energy, the earth is, there's going to be a purge.
It's like the feedback loop too.
Thank you. Yeah.
You can't run or hold those energies unless you know how to ground them, because it'll make you explode.
And that is, I guess, the point, because, as you know, if any of you have known electricians, that you have to ground yourself in order to work with voltage that will kill you.
Yeah.
Now, that's a perfect metaphor when you think about that, Trina. It means that we have the ability that we can plug into this unlimited power because we're grounded to it. Others can't. It will absolutely reject them. I mean, in fact, it will do harm to them.
Yeah, it could stop your heart.
Someone is agreeing with us on that. It's like, oh, thank you very much.
We have so much power inside of us, Wayne. We have so much power.
Yeah.
So this is real. And if we learn how to harness the chi, and for me, the fastest way is breath work with an attitude of gratitude. I can instantly plug
spot on with that.
Yeah.
Hey, Divine Empress, good to see you, Dave Sullivan.
And that's what the book was talking about. I was like,
yes,
oh, yes, I've been talking about this for a while. I'm like, attitude of gratitude. That's my fastest way.
That is the key. It's the shield that will literally. Now, it's interesting because I take my indoctrination for nearly 5 decades in Christianity. Paul uses the same metaphors. Put on the full armor of God, put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, gird your loins with, truth. You have the shield of faith. You have the spear of truth. I mean, yeah. And if we would only take that same knowledge and use it for our own purposes, the principle works no matter where it's applied.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I know what the shield of faith. In fact, Peter says that you're able to quench all the fiery darts. Now, the fiery darts are the doubts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So you put that shield out in front of you and you say, bring it on.
Yes.
I'm plowing through. I don't know about you.
Yeah. And I think it means you're of sound mind.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to, and I can't pronounce his name. I won't, he knows who he is. He says that's also why primarily Far Easterners remain youthful even in old age.
Yes. This type of frequency, if it's not abused or overused, because if you overburden the system, it'll make you lose your spark.
Well, that which burns twice as bright burns out twice as.
Yes, but if done balanced, it will extend the life.
Yeah, for sure. It will. Yeah. He says it will. He said that it's, and he says people that have a laughter, and we laugh a lot around here, but that is, and so I'm thinking, okay, so if you start understanding the techniques of grounding, understanding the techniques of transmutation, I got that. And now understanding these power centers, the center Dantian, the lower Dantian, the upper Dantian.
For me, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. It's spirit, soul, body.
It's about Trinity. Kind of the same thing, isn't it? I mean,
yes, it's the ultimate Trinity. It's the first template you receive. The first Trinity is that spirit connecting to soul, producing the matter or the body. Yes, Trinity. It's so simple. It's the first one. It's the most powerful. That's what I said. I always saw the Trinity as the original, and then I saw the overlay, the chakras on top of that Trinity. But the chakras are connecting to the planets and the material worlds. the Trinity is connected to the spiritual world.
And
Different
it's
aspects,
interesting because,
different.
the power centers. Now,
Yeah.
in many of the teachings of chakras and how they're, you align them, how you can be activating them. I think the simplicity that you would go into the fact that, as with electricity, you would have a capacitor, you would
Yes.
have a transformer,
Hmm.
you would have a ground,
Yep.
and I'm getting this. And so, and as we're talking, you think about this. So here in America, we have 120, and then we have 240.
Yeah.
So think about this. If you're coming into this, learn to adapt to the 120 volt.
Hmm.
As you learn to use that, then you can step up to what I would call the industrial commercial size, the
220.
240, the 220. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, 220.
220.
It is 220. Yeah.
22,
Uh,
baby. Yeah.
I'm just like this. People are getting curious thought. Grounding allows you and I to connect to Gaia and bring
Yes.
energies down to the earth via you and I. Are they positioning the cell towers on grid lines to disrupt the natural flow?
Yes.
You want my vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
All in
agree.
agreement. Raise your right hand.
But I will tell you, I see the crystalline grid of Gaia is coming online, and it's because of all the the children that have been working on this. And I'm telling you, it's going to be way stronger than anything that's artificial with the new frequencies coming. So focus on the organic crystalline grid of this planet and strengthen and fortify that. Don't even focus any energy on that, which is not real.
Well, here's the thing is that um, an artificial grid has been here before. Man has done this before. This is nothing new. And
Right.
I don't know if it was 100,000 years, 500,000 years. I know that we are not exploring new ideas like, oh, wow. But this is what I do know. Gaia, Earth, Hana she is sentient.
Yes.
She is alive. And she laughs and mocks man at man's ego of how he thinks that he's so greatness and he has reached this pinnacle. Because I believe that Gaia has a stronger grid, a stronger network, so to
Indeed,
speak.
yes. And it's been weakened through us.
Well, I think that, I think that that may be an illusion. I think that she will allow us to give us enough rope to hang ourselves, in which we've done before.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's got the plan B already. We're seeing that. We can call it, ascension. We can call it those who truly are connected to the earth. I really see a bifurcation
Oh,
of even in the new age movement. I'm
yes.
seeing it.
Yeah.
You have those that in the new age mindset that are, well, they're grounded in a different way. And then you got those others that they seem to always ascend above the murk and the mayhem.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of work to be done
Yeah.
when the reconstruction takes place.
Yes. Yeah.
I think, Trina, and it just is my thought, but I think that those in the spirit realm will be seen by those who are in the physical realm in this new whatever's coming.
We will walk with the angels. And I don't know if that's because they're just going to take on a body real
I
quick.
think that, but let me, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. I think that you won't be here, girl.
That could be too.
You're going to be
Yeah.
dead. But what
That
I'm
could
trying
be.
to say, it's
Yeah.
going to happen. I mean, you and
Yeah.
I, a great many of us are going to be casualties of this, but it's all
Absolutely.
right. It's part
Yes.
of the process. My point is, we are going to be the ones leading the workers here. In other words, they'll see us as we have always seen them.
Mhm.
That's what I was pointing out. We are the angels.
Oh, I definitely think that for sure.
So,
Yeah.
the transitioning for many of us is, I think we're just simply going to be aware of the period of time that we were down here. It's all less than 100 years. The
Mhm.
great vast majority of us will not see. I don't think we want to.
Yeah.
And I think that in a blink of an eye, many of us will be sitting around the proverbial spiritual campfire in the, ethereal going, well, because it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
I really do. I think we are time travelers, and I think we
Remember,
travel. Go ahead, huh?
remember when the Lord or whatever that thing was that was huge in
Whatever.
the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big thing,
Whatever it
whatever it
is.
was. Yeah, and it popped the world and it was like dark, and then he went phew and made a brand new one. And it was like a blink of an eye. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it was a blink of an eye. It was so fast. It was like he was laughing like, my child, if I created it, do you not think I would know how to take care of it? I was like, wow. Yeah, probably. And then the new one that came back, it was a different dimension Earth. It was way different, way higher. So that would be angelic to me. That realm seemed angelic. So yeah, going back to your true form, maybe, because that's what I
I'm
saw.
convinced that many of us are what we're taught with such bias as to what is an angelic. But
Yes.
I look at this, and when I left Christianity, that's the day I actually became free. But it took a long time to rehabilitate my thinking. My point is this: I was always close with the angelics. I've said many times here, of the 4 different night visitations I've had, um, 3 of them were the same 3 angels every time. And this happened over a period of decades. I still have the original vision that was given to me to the very last. And I'm doing exactly what it's odd, what they showed me 15 years ago, I'm fulfilling right now. My point is this. So even with my departure out of that indoctrination, I'm still close with them.
Absolutely.
In fact, I can't sense that if there's anything, there's probably a deeper relationship. Does that make sense?
I had a relationship with them when I was little. So yes,
Makes
I
sense,
like
wouldn't
I
it?
said, yeah, they're the
Yeah.
ones that shoved me in the bushes under the roof while the Lord was up above just watching it happen. But he obviously called for protection. So yeah, I experienced that when I was 3. So I've always known these things on a very deep level and also through experiences in this material realm. So the whole going to church thing and that's why he told me never to go. I knew I didn't need to because I knew what I needed to know. I just knew that.
By the way, a little side note, it's interesting. Many ghost hunters, abandoned churches are the most haunted.
Yes.
And there is a clip that has been out there, and there's like 4 or 5 of these, paranormal investigators that go into these abandoned churches. Holy crap! I mean, like,
I can
okay,
feel it. I can
um,
feel it the minute I walk in.
yeah, you can. So,
Yeah.
Trina, I said yesterday that if in fact the 7 principles are with in line with the hermetic laws as well, that as above so below is as above, so is in, out, out, in. So if we're about to go through what I think all of us can agree, there something's happening, something will happen. It's all humans can sense it. So is this taking place in the ethereal?
I think so.
Yeah, because otherwise that principle then would not, it would violate itself, because if we're seeing the chaos down here, in my spiritual initiation over 60 years now, something's going on up there. And I'm not hearing enough people talk about this battle. There has to be a war going on, Trina.
There is.
Has to be.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Who do you think is the good ones, the good side or the bad side? Because what's being, I guess let me get more specific in my question, hon. What do you think is being fought over?
Our souls.
Interesting. Okay.
Property, possession,
interesting.
Cattle. Absolutely. It's us. It's all about
Could
us.
it be this ability, how we can, using chi as the metaphor for the energy, that's what they feed off of us? And if we ever get free, we are gods.
Yes.
Holy fuck. I mean, excuse me, because I'm seeing this entrapment now that when you really begin to understand it, that particularly with those of us who are we have this ability to create energy, to create chi.
Yes.
That would make us a highly prized possession that they would want to put us through the recycling machine.
Well, especially too, because.
So sorry about the F-bomb, folks.
Yeah. And the immortal spark, Wayne, immortal spark, that never runs out. That's what they're
That's after. Why it's immortal.
Yes. It never, the body might drain eventually because it's not the spiritual origin. So the flesh is after its created part. So when you go back up, that immortal part of you, that's the part that they want. This is the thing I'm thinking, as above, so below. So we're dealing with a lot of contracts.
Well, we're literally the batteries.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes.
And it's much like in the Enoch showed in this book here, those parasitic entities. Were they creepy? I mean, I got a lot of comments on the one with the human that had tendrils that, a lot of people have seen that.
Yes.
And then I guess there is a Stranger Things. Is that right? Am I right on that?
I think so.
Yeah, that they said that there is a good representation of that imagery as well.
I've seen that thing I've seen that so many times on people. Yeah, I've seen it on their bodies. I've seen small ones. I've seen big ones. I've seen huge ones in the sky. They're all over. They're everywhere.
I typically will see, when I see these things many times, they look like, to be very candid, and they're attached. And sometimes they're attached to people all over, but typically I see them attached in this area.
Around the neck and the shoulders is where I see it the most, and especially the backs. Yeah, that's where I see it too.
They're dark. Yep. They're dark, and the thing about it is that it freaks me out is that you can see them move when there is a reaction to a person. You can. They start vibrating, and it's. And
they know as soon as you identify them.
They know when I do.
That's what I mean. That's why you start seeing the movement, because they're real still and content until somebody sees them, and then they get freaked out. They know.
And that's, sometimes I just like going in the environments because, a prize fighter, a lead singer, they don't keep those key peak performances unless they practice.
Yeah.
True. So you heard my story about going up there and winning on roulette.
Yes, I did.
I didn't tell the other story about the guy to the right of us. And Lynn said, you got to tell everyone about that, because again, I had my little party behind me. And so this guy, I guess he'd been sitting there a while, and, and he sees I come up and sit down. And then of course, 3 plays later, I'm cashing out. And I told him, I said, good luck. And he says, what the fuck? He says, you took it all. Whoa. And that's the yellow one.
Yeah. Wow. What's yellow mean?
Wow. That one represents a distinct heat.
Wow. Power of
Wow.
manifestation, the power of
Oh
doing.
yeah, but that, and she said you have to tell people this, and because they laughed. I mean, he says, and he used literally the F word, and he
Yeah.
says, "Why?" He says, "You've taken it all."
Yeah.
He said,
And you know what? He believes that. So now then he's going to create poverty. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him because he wasn't too happy.
Yeah. Go,
Hey,
go,
Shannon,
go.
good to see you, my dear. Dick, how you doing? Harkle, good to see you as well.
Hi, everyone.
But it's so true. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
it's people are funny. They really are.
Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I, I
Yeah, I
just,
think that's the thing though, Wayne. Due to these languages and all of this stuff, we don't know about our spirit, soul, body
oh
construct.
no.
We
Mm-mm.
need to learn these things so we can navigate what we even, are beginning to understand about what we even are as this being. So, I mean, we're discovering that which was carefully hidden. So,
I do mirror work all the time, and this is where I've come to the conclusion. The only way that I recognize myself in this physical plane is that by which I see, but I know that's not me. Is it, and maybe it's just me, but
mm-mm.
I'm at the point now to where I never, when I start seeing and I look directly into my eyes and begin to focus in on that, I'm here.
Yes,
And it's weird. Sometimes I can see the back of my head.
yes, that's
It's
the
no
position
bullshit. I
of the
mean,
observer. Yeah,
it's
I get
weird.
totally get
Yeah.
that. Totally. I've been able to get just God, not many times in my lifetime, but able to see all three at the same time.
Mm,
That
mm,
was wow, profound. But
mm.
yeah, I mean, so there's more perceptions even above the one that looks into the back of the head. There's more. There's three I've identified, and it goes to the same construct again: spirit, soul, body.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is exactly what it is. There's one spiritual, there's one that's the connection from the spirit to the soul, then the soul to the body. And that is the three positions that, like I said, the me, myself, and I. It's that first original trinity that creates you. And the most powerful one is out of the heart chest center. It's the strongest light, is that one. And I think that's due to the emotional power of as an energy god, because the gods of this whole thing are apparently Elohim. That's electricity. So we're dealing with electricity, which again, we're dealing with batteries. So
Yeah.
this
Dick
all makes
says,
sense.
he says, Wayne, what you're seeing is through the physical, and I would agree. John Price, if they gave you free king crab legs, that's like, giving you like $100 to go gamble with. That's a pretty good deal. You're saying the last time he was in a casino, they gave him free king crab legs. And I love Alaskan king crab. That's
Yeah, yeah,
delicious. But
me too.
it is interesting that when you, as I told Lynn, it's becoming much more easily to adjust to. It's like sometimes if you can see things in a distortion, and once you become acclimated to that, then it's no like being seen by a person who gets seasick. There are
Yes.
those who cannot get on a boat without the nausea, and then there's others of us who we look at it as a pleasant kind of up and down. But the point is, some people are going, really? Yeah. Is when you're aware that even now when I talk,
Hmm.
I'm still up here. I mean, I project from here,
Yep.
but yeah,
You're aware of the presence above and
yeah,
behind
it's
you.
yeah.
Remember, I told you when I was with the Lord, this massive thing behind me, it was massive. I mean, massive.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
um just reading some of the chat room. Active chat room today, by the way.
I
Thank y'all
love the
very
chat.
much. I mean, this
Because
is
I
a
love
this
reading the chat.
it
They're so
is. I
brilliant.
mean, there are some
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
wonderful, enlightened spirit beings here.
Mwah. Much
Um,
love.
Yeah. I mean, wow. I just,
Yeah.
D Oceans, Deep Woo. How are you doing? Haven't, don't think I've seen you before.
I have.
Greetings.
How
Good to
you
see you.
doing? I,
Gender, good to see you as well. My cats always stare above my head. Well, there's a
yeah.
reason for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah. I think that's the soul sun's thing. It's I see it as a Wayne, I literally see it as like a computer disk
it
spinning
is.
thing over the head, emanating light.
I like that. Dave Sullivan, that's not cool doing it. That's the funniest thing. He says, I'm sorry, Trina, we were in deep thought, but Dave writes, I love king crab legs, but I really feel sorry for all the crabs walking with
Right.
it's that green light again. It's
Wow.
Dave, that's just funny. I mean, and Dave, I'll just add to that. So back in the 80s, because I was working in post-production, I worked with a lot of record companies, and they threw the best cocktail parties. I mean, the spreads were everything. And so they had and this was down in Dallas, Texas, Trina, they had this whole thing, and they had frog legs. And some guy shows it's right there in the front of the where the the legs were at. And their frog legs are good. I mean,
Yeah.
they're high in protein. They're
Yeah.
very tasty. But
Yeah.
anyway, it showed the special of the day in this restaurant, and it showed frog legs. And in the next thing you saw going out the back door was the frog in a wheelchair going.
Ah, oh boy. Oh boy.
All righty, we keep it clean here.
Yep, yep. You know, here we used to have a restaurant called the Satisfied Frog in Cave Creek. They served frog legs and rattlesnake. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh man, I was
yeah.
in Jacksonville, Florida, down on the riverfront there in the St. James River. But anyway, one of the restaurants there served alligator, and
Mhm.
you know, actually, it's not a bad meat.
Mhm.
I found it to be a little stringy, but yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I've had rattlesnake before.
Uh-huh.
Here in Denver, we have a restaurant called the Fort, and it's just right up the hill a little bit. And it's known for the fact, and it was a fort back in the late 1800s, but the menu is of all exotic meats. You can get elk,
Wow.
moose,
Mhm.
you can get it's quite interesting,
Yeah,
ostrich,
caribou. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
caribou. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
Wow.
very interesting. And you can get this sampler platter that has, everything. Tastes like chicken, Julie. It does.
Yeah,
Oh,
most
that is
stuff does.
John says Popeyes in Mississippi has gator.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And John, I'm just going to make a prediction on this, because of the chickens are being wiped out. There apparently is this avian flu that is, nearly over 100 million chickens have been culled. So when you look for a replacement of that protein, alligators, I think, are perfectly. I mean, I know some people may think, well, you shouldn't eat meat at all, but there's some people that have to have meat. I
Yeah.
mean, it's in there. And my wife, who's a nurse and for many, many, many years, will tell you that there are certain human beings that they have to have the protein of meat.
That's
It can't
me.
be a
I am
substitute.
that blood type.
Yeah. And
Yep.
if you don't, it
You don't feel
becomes
good.
very
Yeah.
and it starts this cascading thing,
Yeah.
because if you're lacking that key protein,
Yep.
your body begins to scavenge itself. Yeah.
Yes. And it
So,
breaks down the immune system and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
but I think that this may be a great alternative. And alligator is, by the way, it's a white meat.
Yep.
It is. And and I think snake, rattlesnake,
Uh-huh.
it's not bad.
I
I
thought it
mean,
was good. Yeah.
you know,
They brought it out with butter and garlic in a tin
that's my
foil.
point. If you got
Yeah, it was
garlic,
really good.
you got,
Yeah.
maybe cayenne pepper,
Mhm.
some salt. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
you can
really
make
good.
anything taste like,
The
damn,
only
this
thing
tastes
I didn't
good.
like was all the cartilage, the bones. Like there was
Yeah,
just so
yeah. It's like
many
eating a
little,
chicken neck.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But just an idea. I mean, because I don't know about you. I was in the store the other day, and holy crap! I mean, I never thought I would see it when you would actually see hamburger nearly $9 a pound, and this is the 80/20.
Australia, it's $12 for a head of iceberg lettuce.
Ouch. And I like a wedge salad, a blue cheese wedge. I make that even for us here because I happen to love blue cheese. And I'm thinking about it. Nothing like having a nice filet mignon with melted blue cheese on top of it.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Las Vegas, down in Fremont Street at the Four Queens, no, excuse me, yeah, it is the Four Queens. Go to Hugo's Cellar, and yeah.
Hugo Cellar.
Oh, Trina,
Yeah,
that place
do that.
holds a lot of memories for me. And I've taken my wife there the times we've been there, and she just loves the place as well. It holds particularly, and it's where the Rat Pack used to hang out.
Yeah.
And they have maintained that same decorum in there, and it's virtually not changed. It's very
So
cool.
awesome. That's so
I
awesome.
It holds a deep place in me because I almost died there. That it was I didn't realize it. I was out in Las Vegas doing a trade show. Anyway, we had reservations there, and they bring the salad cart to you, and the blue cheese is like on this. Oh, it's just anyway. But I was deep in the throes of meningitis and Lyme disease. I was
Oh, yeah.
carrying 103 fever, and yeah, barely made it back to Knoxville. But anyway, so
Gosh almighty. So glad you did, Wayne. Wow.
hey, it's great. Some people else, I miss ponchos. I remember ponchos. Yeah. Bernadette says, I'm fasting, no food talk.
Right. Sorry, Bernadette. I knew how hard that must be.
I can get that, because I'm sitting there going, I'm like really hungry,
Yeah.
I'm going, yeah, all right. So we'll get back. But and because eggplant is really good as well. Eggplant Parmesan,
Yeah.
yeah. It is. And peas, did you know this, Trina? What peas are the closest protein to
Yeah.
meat?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did know that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
apparently there's a massive pea shortage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like about, it's Lynn was at the store yesterday, and she says, this is starting to get real. That's what she said. I said,
Yep.
why? She said, in Target, where she was at, yeah, there are aisles that are, sparsely.
I'm noticing that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, geez,
And
okay.
I haven't really seen that here other than the toilet paper crisis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a, yeah. Julie says, so hungry now. I am too. I'm thinking about, wouldn't it be nice to go to like Delmonico's and we could just get ourselves like, I really I have this thing I'm going to have to tell Lynn. I want to go, and now I want to have a wedge salad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those preciously wonderful gifts of life. One of them
Oh,
being food.
this is it, and it's what draws us all together because
Yes.
we this is what yeah makes us a family. So
Yeah.
Trina, getting back to where we were talking, you and I right before we went live, were talking to the fact that as children in China, in Far Eastern cultures, are taught very early that they are connected to the earth, how to connect to the earth, how to get that energy flow through them. And as I'm practicing in front of a mirror some of these moves, right? And as you think about this, so when we put children here in the United States to school, we start teaching them how to print their names. That's how they first learn to actually communicate. And many people believe that the English language is a cursed language. It's not a pure language. It is a hybrid of many other languages. And that is represented, yeah, there you go, by the fact that we teach our children how to write cursive.
Yep. I think that's true. It makes a lot of sense. When you
Yeah.
write cursive, you're writing to the dead.
Now that's an interesting point.
Yeah, and you're connecting to a different plane of existence. And so, like I said, when we really start to understand language itself and start to work, get the words figured out, there's a lot that it becomes very clear. So yeah, that's a dead language.
Because our birth certificates are printed, capitalized, capitalist.
Correct.
In fact, it would not be legally accepted if it was in cursive.
Correct. Because
I don't think we stop and think about this enough, because it's like this huge fucking sign out there saying, man, come on, folks, get what's going on here.
Figure it out.
Right. Yeah, because well, gee, if cursive is supposed to be, I don't know if it would be as an advancement. It's what they call slang, and how you write, because it's cursive.
It all goes back to spell casting and the difference between legalese versus language. I mean, there's two different languages. So there's Babel. We're in Babylonian. It's because of the Tower of Babel. That's why.
Where it is Babylonian. D-Oceans, you're right. Capitalized, it represents property. It does.
Yes, corporate fiction. Yes.
None of us, technically, as I've done on my show, and I pointed this out, we're all dead.
Correct.
Our government cannot interact with an actual person.
Correct.
It can with a corporation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it is a corporation.
Trina, I never saw you as a multinational corporation, dear.
I know.
You are so diverse and mysterious and complex.
Yeah. As are we all. Isn't that the best part?
Well, it makes for a lively conversation, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. So you're
getting back into language.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, our resident word alchemist, Julianne from Down Under. I mean, it's interesting because when I first met her and exchanged emails, you have to stop and read what she's writing.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes, because she's writing in a different presentation of the word.
She is, and she's using it in its proper syntax, context.
Latin origins, yes.
Yeah. And it's amazing, again, when you see the cultures that permeate our language. We have a strong German, but it's amazing to me to see how much Hebrew is in our language.
Yes. And everything that we're speaking is double negative, so it cancels itself out. So
now that's an interesting, that's a curse.
Yes.
I mean, it's a spell.
Yes.
It's a bad spell.
Yes.
But that's how we do it, because we spell.
Yes, that's why we were taught to spell instead of being taught proper grammar.
You
We've
see,
been
this is
taught.
where the illusion begins to, because you peer over just enough to see
Mhm.
there's
What's
more
really going
out
on
here.
here?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, so, it's kind of like the song, the Eagles sing Already Gone, that so many of us are bound in chains and we never realize that we hold the key.
Correct. Yeah,
But
and
if we do a double negative speak, right,
yep,
then we're cursing ourselves. And then when you do the double speak, when you're speaking, what you're doing is agreeing. So now we got two or more that is agree is touching anything. It will be done on earth as it's done in the firmament, the heaven,
yep,
the ethereal.
yep.
Yeah.
And then, a while ago, many years ago, I did a lot of informational study and research on reverse EMPs. And
Okay.
whoa, everything. That's when I told you everything is backwards and upside down, because when you understand that the real correct use of language is the truth of what's really happening within this reality, everything is backwards and reversed. So when you would listen to what was going on from the astrals through reverse, it tells a completely different story. They're not experiencing lollipops and butterflies. It's a completely different story. Yeah, so I started doing a lot of research with looking at EVP information, but in reverse. And
So
oh
an
my
electronic voice print, is that what you meaning? Because,
spirit, yeah,
I work in
spirit,
that. And by the
yeah,
way, I am having an SLS camera built. Do you know what those are?
no,
Wait till you see this.
I
It takes a couple of weeks for them to build it, but
I
once
don't.
it's hooked up to an Xbox, and it has I think this one is a 12-inch screen display, and I can see anything in the room. And if I see a human, it shows me, and it's represented by stick figures.
Oh
But
wow,
if I see a spirit, it has a different color, and it shows the same. It will show what the spirit looks like if it's a human.
wow,
Oh yeah,
wow, very
yeah.
cool.
It's so when I get it, I'm just about set now. I think that I'm in this fall. I'm going to start doing a little bit of my own investigations, because I have a different thought on how I see people identifying the spirits. They're here. And it doesn't surprise me that we have the technology that we can now identify them. I use a REM pod. I have a laser motion detector grid. And now using infrared and into it, I can see, particularly if that is a shift in that. And now with the SLS technology, my whole point is, Trina, that we'll be doing shows here. There's no reason why we can't begin to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
I think Brian does visit us,
I know he does.
but it's going
Yeah.
to be something for me to be able to point the camera and say, Trina, there's some, and I'll be able to show the audience as well.
Yes, that's going to be
I
fabulous.
think it's going to be cool.
It was when you were saying that, I was like, how interesting would it be to be able to see Brian in a different form? Even though it's through another lens built with a
Yes.
perception and a program, it's not as
Yeah.
true, but it's another representation of him. And there's a multitude. Another interesting fact that I just discovered was every single word spoken can be determined over 900 different definitions.
900.
900.
So it makes me think, is the ethereal legal lease? I mean, you think about it, or is it just, is it this realm?
I think it goes up. I do.
It's interesting. The reason why I'm pursuing this type of research for my own is that because if we're still here when we pass over, my question then becomes, the universe is infinite.
Yes.
Why is it? And I don't think everyone is still here, but there's quite evident that there is a lot that are.
More here than got out.
Yeah, and it's still that thing, Trina. And I'm hoping that eventually things will get back to some normalcy where we all can start, having the ability that you don't have to basically get a second mortgage to fill up your tank.
It's like I said, everything is backwards. So everybody's trying to get out, and it's actually the secret to get out is to go in. Everything is backwards.
I actually saw a movie that had that same theme. That
Really?
it's interesting. As a prisoner, every prisoner thinks about getting out, but if the prisoner thought about how you got in, that's going to, it's going to be because, you're saying, well, but I went through a number of gates. Yeah, you did. But gates work both ways, anyway.
Yes.
Well, this has been a great, great day. Scott Shut-Hots, how are you doing, sir? Says that you are a glowing.
Oh, thank
she
you.
is, Hey, I just do the commentary and the color. She is the talent. I just, that's the way I look at it. New Yoda says, through the front door. Isn't that the truth? New Yoda. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. A lot of truth to that. Bonnie, well, thank you. This is a great group, Trina.
And it's like, wait, I think there's a lot of truth to those little Russian doll things. So
yes. The nesting dolls.
Yes.
Yeah. There's more into that than again, and you got to think about
ancient wisdom in that toy. Ancient wisdom in those dolls.
I can just see a person.
And isn't there always 9 of them, Wayne?
I think there is. The way that they they did that in the middle of winter where they were really, I think these people were like really deep in themselves. Yeah. I mean,
well, and it's, interesting.
What are you going to do?
I keep seeing like how the construct got broken was like they hijacked the number system through a number editing program that they hit the matrix with. So they stopped us from reaching 9 and they trapped us in the loop of the 8. So I keep seeing a lot about this.
Yeah, because there's still debate in occult theory that is 0 an actual number.
Yes, it is. And I was taught years ago, and they kept telling me they were and funny and rhyme, and they were like, and don't forget that 7, 8, 9, like 8 it, like 8 it. So 7, 8, 9. So 7, 8, the 9. So it stopped the 9. So there's something to this. I've been getting this information for years.
I do that all the time to Lynn. I start and I'm speaking a spell, but it's in the rhyme, and she just says, "You do that all the time." And I said, "Hun, it's always right on time." And she says, "Well, I am done." And I said, "But hun."
Right, but hun, it's time for more fun.
But that's how in the Middle Ages, that's you can be accused of witchcraft.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you spoke in rhymes, because that's how the spell goes, right?
Typically, there is something to that.
By the way, I did. I told everyone yesterday I did this the spell, and using some sandalwood and what have you. It's quite remarkable. After I did that, I went about my business, and I had to go back out where I had just been like 30 minutes prior. Everything that I had put down was gone. Was it gone? It was just gone. And between the sandalwood and, actually, I think it was cinnamon, that it was used, they leave a residue.
Yes.
But gone. I had to get Lynn and say, look at this. And she's looking, and she's the skeptic, and she goes, there was no wind. She said, well,
wow.
Where did it go? I don't know. But I know that it worked. It worked. The spell worked.
it went from earth to heaven. That's
It was
exactly what it
amazing.
was. Yeah,
It
it went, it
literally,
switched the
of
material. Yeah,
it was gone.
wow, Wayne. Wow.
I mean, and
Wow.
this is why I'm buying a lot of this. But this sandalwood, you get it on you, it's not coming off. It's
Yes, it's a resin almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're using, the freshly ground cinnamon as well, but yeah. By the way, Trina, this is wonderful stuff.
That's what you were saying. I was looking at that going,
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called solo therapy. Get it. Bonnie, you said it's is it 1 to 3? It's 1 to 4, hun. 1 to 4. 1 part sandalwood, 4 parts cinnamon.
Oh,
Mix
I
it up.
love both of those smells.
Speak as you're grinding it. Put your energy into it. Make enough to where it should, depending on where you are. I had about a half of a baggie, and you just, as you're walking, you just sprinkle it behind you, and go right up to your front door. Do not let anything get into the front door, and make sure you've used everything you've had. And yeah,
Wow.
it
Love it.
works.
I
It
love it.
works.
I love
It
it.
does work.
Shielding and protection, any way that you can do it to
Oh,
where it's powerful and
it's
it
the
works.
elements.
It's a gift.
And
It's a gift. Great gift.
Lilith loves sandalwood.
Does she?
Fortuna does as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I always heard the name Ashra. Ashra.
Ashra. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
name. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's one of the ones I've always, I think, been connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, folks, Trina, this has been a fabulous, fabulous show. And they always are, but this is
I just
just,
love being with you and with
man,
all the Soul Tribe. You guys are the highlight of my
I'm
week every
honored.
week.
I mean,
Yeah.
we meet each week, and it's a joy.
Yes, for me
Yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
this connection with the tribe, like I said, been waiting my whole life for you guys. So thank you for being in my world.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Snake Jones says the book of soul retrieval is wonderful. Yes, Snake, it is.
I'm gonna need to get it.
It's one of the deepest books, Trina. I mean, and I love the way that he lays it out. These rituals are just so, they're step by step. And I like this idea of this chi, this energy. We're all going to be getting together.
I've been really working with chi. I was doing it when I was a kid and I didn't even know. But
Yeah.
I started working again with it when I went to SWIHA, when I went to Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And that's when I got the word chi and, started to understand these chakra systems and all that stuff. And that's when they started calling me the tornado, because apparently I'm really naturally gifted with creating chi. So that's
Yep, I believe that. And there are children that display that same energy.
I knew one that lit his bedroom on fire and burnt the house down.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thank you. Elderberry, how you doing? Good to see you, my dear. Lost in Space, much love to you as well. Everybody else, thank you. And you're right, Trina. This is a family.
Yeah. Yes.
I ground after Wayne every day, 3 times a day, to keep the BS.
Right?
That's Courtney. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Courtney, that's cool. Rhymes all the time. That's all I got to say. All right, folks. See y'all tomorrow. Trina, we won't be on next week. I will be out of town for about 3 or 4 days, but it's a good thing. So we'll see each other. And if we can get in a show next week, depends on your schedule, maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday, we can get that in there. But anyway, no, but if not, then I'll see you in 2 weeks, my dear.
Yes. Oh, can't wait.
All right, everyone. We love you. We just speak over you, as they would say, shante, shante, shante. You know, I like
Yeah,
that. That's peace.
I do too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and favor, folks, gotta have
Yes,
the favor.
favor.
Grace, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Every day in every way, things are getting better in every way. Mary
And
Wins, we love
are
you.
no
Michelle
favor.
Canham Free, thank you. I love this group.
Me
Trina,
too.
much love to you, dear. You
Yes,
know,
you too.
okay, everyone. See y'all tomorrow. All right.